very warm welcome here to Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia. This is the third and final day of the Axiata Cup group stage. As you can take a look at the squad from Malaysia, the favorite team making their way into the stadium. And there you have their main chief rivals for top seeding here in the group stage of the competition. Indonesia, Rajawali, making their entry. There's Rumbaka, who will be one of the main charges as far as singles competition is concerned for the Indonesian squad. And that is the cup that they are playing for. 6 countries participating in this inaugural event. This is the richest team event in the sport of badminton, with a total prize money of $1 million. We've got a great sized crowd here inside the Stadium Badminton Kuala Lumpur, Cheras in Malaysia. And why not? The winner here will take top seeding in the home and away format, which will happen next week. This is the Axiata Cup 2012, and this is a great shot in the arm as far as badminton is concerned in this part of the world. There's our calendar. Very first day, March 23. It is Indonesia over Thailand, 3-love. Malaysia, 3-love over the Philippines. In day number 2, Malaysia Tigers, 3-love over Thailand, followed quickly by Indonesia Rajawali with the same scoreline over the Philippines, 3-love. And earlier today, Thailand running roughshod over the Philippines with a 3-love scoreline. And this is the match everybody has been waiting for. Malaysia Tigers up against Indonesia Rajawali. And let's meet the players for both these squads.
Selamat datang semua ke Axiata Cup 2012 hari yang ketiga. Are you ready to witness the battle between Malaysia Tiger and Indonesia Rajawali for the $1 million?
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome team from Indonesia Rajawali. These are the hidden Vito. Hayom Rumbaka. A talented dancer and a future world champion. Ryan Agung Saputro. Angga Pratama. Tommy Sugiarto, winner of the Victor Indonesia Challenge 2011 and Yonex Chinese Soccer Open. Hendra Aprila Gunawan. And Alvin Yulianto Chandra. And now, please put your hands together to our Malaysia Tiger. Please welcome Muhammad Arif Abdul Latif.
can you all the battlefield, the Malaysia Cheras and Indonesia Rajawali. Both teams kindly shake hands. May the best team wins. A round of applause for both teams.
And this is the battle everybody has been waiting for from the very beginning. It'll be Indonesia up against Malaysia here for top seeding. There's the lineup of the Malaysia Tigers, starting out with Arif Abdul Latif. We've got Lim, Go, Darren Liu, who will be playing singles a little bit later on, and their number one doubles pair of Tan and Ku. Hafiz Hashim will start things off. And they also have Lee Chong Wei, who is not here today. On the other side, Indonesia Rajawali has Rustavito, Rumbaka, Saputro, Pratama, Tommy Sugiarto, who unfortunately, from what we understand, has a fever and will not see action here today. As we take a look at our singles, doubles, and singles lineups, we will start out with Hafiz Hashim up against Rumbaka. Rumbaka normally plays the third match, the second singles. And as expected, Ku and Tan up against Angga Pratama and Rian Agong Saputro. That is going to be a great match to watch. In our second singles, our third match, it'll be Darren Liu as expected, but against Irene Rustavito. That was a big surprise. And there is Lee Chong Wei, world number one, who is also here at the Badminton Stadium. But they're hoping that he will be ready to go by next week at the very least. If he doesn't make it to next week, they're hoping as long as Malaysia makes it to the finals, 3 weeks from today, he will be able to lead the charge for the Tigers. We have umpire Mod Azizan, our good friend Mohammed, who will be our chair umpire. Both players now getting ready to warm up. This is a very big match. The winner here will face the number 2 seed from the Jakarta leg. So much speculation going on as to the strategies of both coaches, and we will go through that through the course of this tie between Indonesia and Malaysia. Right now, Rumbaka thrust into the spotlight. We were looking forward to a Hafiz Hashim Tommy Sugiarto matchup. That another dream match. And it would have been Rumbaka up against Darren Liu. That would have been the initial scenario. Unfortunately for Indonesia, Tommy Sugiarto is injured and is out for this particular tie. Hafiz Hashim from Malaysia, ranked 32 in the world, age 30. One-time All-England champion. And the kind of form he flashed there, people were saying he's destined to be number 1. The spate of injuries here and there has derailed that. But now he says he's healthy, a little bit more mature, and looking to come back and break into the top 10. The other side of the coin, you have that gentleman, Junicius Hayom Rumbaka, playing right-handed. This is actually the Team B of Indonesia. Their Team A, led by Taufik Hidayat, is in Jakarta, Indonesia. And chances are, they just might finish on top there. Rashid Sidek on your left, singles coach, part of the famed Sidek brothers here in Malaysia. Well loved, well liked. And there's Cholit Magad. To be assisted by our service judge, Azizan Ali. Looking at the head-to-head matchups by both these players, Hafiz Hashim with a 2-1 edge. Though Rumbaka got the best of Hafiz earlier this year in 2012.
Represented by Hayom Rumbaka. Malaysia Badminton, level 3.
That was in the Malaysian Open. 2017, 13-21, 21-11 was our score there. So expect another thrilling encounter between these two individuals.
Service over. 1 love.
So though people were looking forward to Tommy Sugiarto, obviously Indonesia knows they can win this match. Well, there's a huge crowd here, and the Malaysian players just love to play here in Kuala Lumpur. They get that extra boost. They're very difficult to beat when they're playing at home. They were shot that time by Rumbaka. The two wins of Hafiz Hashim was in 2011, the Chinese Taipei Open, and he won that one convincingly, 21-15, 21-15. It's going to be long. These two individuals just so evenly matched, standing just about the same height. And we have a lot of our very important friends joining us here, friends from Axiata, enjoying the action. Great play there by Hafiz, and Malaysia on top 3-2. That goes long, and Malaysia now with a 2-point edge.
4-2.
Full crowd support is what you have here inside the Badminton Stadium, Kuala Lumpur, Cheras.
5-2.
5-2 now, Hafiz. Up by 3. It's now a 5-point advantage. Rumbaka has not started out strong during the first game.
6-2.
Already 4 unforced errors by Rumbaka. Well played.
6 over.
That time breaking a string there
6.
was Rumbaka. Hafiz did not realize it. All he had to do was just lift that shuttle. Just a shot of the great size crowd we've got here inside the Badminton Stadium. Best crowd we've had all 3 days, and why not? This is the marquee matchup. Well played again by Hafiz. Setting the pace of the point as quickly as possible. And there you can see Rumbaka on his heels.
7-3.
Well played once again. It's been an excellent start here for Hafiz Hashim. In fact, he's been near flawless in the past 2 days. In day number 1 against the Philippines, he went up against the current world number 17, Mark Zwiebler from Germany, playing for the Philippines, and he demolished him in 2 straight games. Nice point there by Rumbaka.
Service over.
He's got to stay within striking distance of Malaysia. Boy, that lift wasn't even close. That was out by at least 3 inches. Hafiz didn't even have to think about that one. What a get. But nonetheless, the point goes to Rumbaka.
Service over. 5-9.
Missed it in the first instance, got it back in the second, but eventually lost the point. Another poor lob. Those are gifts.
6-9.
Gifts you can ill afford to give. There's another one. Just when we said Hafiz Hashim has been in great form, he's come up with 3 mediocre points. And very quickly, having to change another racket is Rumbaka. In fact, he's thrown 3 out of his bag. 3 of them need to be restrung. Players normally have 6 to 7 rackets as we take a look once again at Lee Chong-wei.
7-9.
And the Malaysian Tigers expect to have him back in action by next week. Nice kill. 4 straight points put together right now by Rumbaka. And he's back in it.
8.
At 7-9. Check that. 8-9. Point for Malaysia. Gives them a little bit more breathing space.
Service over. 10-8.
Another poor lob. No question about that one.
Service over. 9.
And Sidek cannot be pleased. That time a poor drop.
10-all.
Well, after praising Hafiz, suddenly his play has just dipped more than a few notches. A mistake from Hafiz gives Rumbaka the lead
Interval.
as we get to the interval. Watch it once again. Hafiz was dictating the tempo of that one, but in the end, another unforced error. 7 for him. Gives Rumbaka the 1-point edge. Now we can talk about speculations. Initially, what we heard from the grapevine was Malaysia was looking to have two teams in the finals. They wanted the 400,000 winners prize together with a 200,000 winners prize. And so there was speculation that they might lose this match against Indonesia. If they fell second, they will face the top-seeded Indonesian squad, which was led by Taufik Hidayat in the semi-finals. But obviously, people are now starting to say that is not a good scenario because they might be hard-pressed to upend Indonesia's top squad. It might be better for them to face Indonesia in the finals. Remember, Indonesia
11-all.
falls second here. Indonesia has already taken the top seed in Jakarta. So next week's semifinals will be Jakarta. We'll have Indonesia up against Malaysia versus Malaysia.
Series over. 12-11.
On the other side of the coin, people were saying Indonesia may have been thinking about the same thing, wanting two teams in the finals. That stays in. Great play by Hafiz. Picking up on the point we were talking about,
Series over.
Rumbaka and the rest of
12-all.
Indonesia, Rajawali wants to come out on top here so that they face Malaysia too in the crossover semifinals. Indonesia feels that's their best bet. If they top both groups, they have a great chance of having an all-Indonesian final.
13-12.
Malaysia was thinking of that same strategy, though their second team, the Leopards, are just obviously not as strong. Another point here for Malaysia. There's confirmation of that lob. Going long.
12.
We'll give you the different scenarios a little bit later on as this tie progresses. That's why, but make no mistake about it, both these teams right now have decided they need to go for the win.
Series over.
Indonesia's bid, though, just might be hampered a little bit because their number one singles player here for Rajawali, Tommy Sugiarto, is down with a fever. But all is not lost.
Series over.
Rumbaka
15-13.
looking to duplicate his feat in early January with 2 games to 1 victory over this same man, Hafiz Hashim. I'm shaking my head here. Just too many unforced errors coming from Hafiz Hashim. 8 already
Service over.
has kept Rumbaka in this match. Rumbaka has 9 unforced errors. It has not been the cleanest of matches. Well played.
Service over.
That's how they draw it up in practice.
14.
Force your opponent to one side and then attack the next. Another point here for Hafiz. And the crowd here inside the Badminton Stadium up on its feet.
14.
Important for Malaysia to get just one of the singles because they feel the doubles is a lock.
Service over.
Hafiz Hashim not happy about that one. Let's see if he can catch it on the replay. Sugiarto had his racket up. He was claiming overreaching, but the shuttle actually did pass before Rumbaka made contact. And here comes the Rumbaka charge. Now just down by 1.
16-17.
Crowd on the edge of their seats here. They don't want to prolong the agony. They feel if Hafiz gets this first singles match, the tie just could be theirs.
Service over.
Well, they don't have a slouch in Darren Liu for the second men's singles.
16.
They might have to be slightly favored there because Shehar Hiren Rustavito is coming to play for Indonesia. Well disguised, well played. Opening up the court on one end and going to the other. Asking now for the court to be mopped up just a little bit. There is a slick portion. (18-16) is our score. Make that 19-16.
19-16.
Malaysia on top. Nice kill. He saw the advantage on that short lob. And it's now game point for Hafiz Hashim and Malaysia.
Game point 16.
Goes for another winner. And quickly takes game number 1, 21-16.
First game won by Malaysia Tiger 21-16.
Watch it again. Hafiz saw the opening, grabbed the opportunity, and has taken the very first game here in their tie against Indonesia. Welcome back to the Badminton Stadium here in Kuala Lumpur, Cheras, Malaysia. This is the Axiata Cup 2012, the inaugural staging of the richest team event in the sport of badminton. Total prize money of $1 million, 400,000 goes to the winner.
Second game.
Second place, they take home 200,000 US. Right now, the all-important final tie for the group stage between Malaysia and Indonesia. Nice recovery, but in the end, it was still Hafiz winning that point. One of the best rallies we've seen so far here in this first match of our final tie of the night. Nice comeback there by Rumbaka.
Service over.
We're tied at 1.
1-all.
Great crowd support, but right now, Rumbaka with back-to-back points. He's got the advantage. A little bit over-eager that time was Rumbaka, looking to get 3 straight points, and his coach very disappointed. You've got to show a little bit more patience, especially against Hafiz. Hafiz with the opening, he takes advantage. Slowly but surely, Muhammad Hafiz Hashim has worked his way back into top form. And he's now up by 2.
4-2.
We'll talk about different scenarios in just a bit. When we get to the interval, what are the possibilities for next week's home and away semifinals? Nice attack, that time going deep into the body of Hafiz.
Service over. 3-4.
Nice attack. Again going to the body. And following it up with the winner. Rumbaka attacking early. Short lift. And Rumbaka makes Hafiz pay.
Service over. 5-4.
It's now Rumbaka with the lead. And now is the turn of Hafiz to go into the body of Rumbaka with great success.
Service over. 5-all.
This is a battle with epic proportions.
Hold.
Fault called.
6-5.
It's now Hafiz serving. Goes just wide. Good call.
Service over.
We're tied at 6. Unforced errors. 13-10. Rumbaka with 3 more. Well played again by Hafiz.
Service over. 7-6.
Well, the crowd here inside the badminton stadium just going nuts. They know Hafiz, their man, needs all the support he can get. Not the best of lifts. And again, that short lob bounced on by Rumbaka. And we're tied once again at 7. That momentarily silences the crowd. Poor shot there by Hafiz. Well, at this level, you just cannot come up with a success of that one. That's a gimme. Deep smash.
Service over. 8-all.
This is a real war. Once again, Rashid Sidek with a slight look of concern in his face. What a drop shot. And that's got to be applauded.
9-8.
Watch it here in the replay. Just catching the top of the tape. Almost impossible to return. Not the best of lifts once again. Rumbaka started that off
Service over.
with a counter drop.
9-all.
Looking for some maintenance work on the playing surface. Now we're back in action. Tied at 9 during the second game. Very tight first game going to Hafiz Hashim, 21-16. Nice shot of Cholid, our chair umpire. Boy, that was a terrible shot.
Service over.
Not the best of lobs,
10-9.
but still Rumbaka not taking advantage. Two poor returns
11-9.
by Rumbaka. Impatience once again coming to the forefront. And Hafiz Hashim at the interval with a 2-point lead. Watch it once again. And here are the different scenarios. Scenario 1. If the Malaysia Tigers win Group K, this group here in Kuala Lumpur, on Friday, our home and away format will have the Tigers playing the Leopards in KL. And then on Sunday, the Leopards facing the Tigers also here in KL. Scenario 2,
20 seconds.
if the Malaysia Tigers come in second here in Group K, which means they lose to Indonesia in this tie, on Friday, the Tigers play away at Garuda in Jakarta. And then, the Leopards will play at home versus Rajawali. And on Sunday, the Tigers will play home at Garuda.
11-9.
And the Leopards will face Rajawali on Sunday. Those are the possible scenarios. So looking at two possible scenarios, it could be Malaysia versus Malaysia in the crossover semis, and Jakarta versus Jakarta.
Service over.
It could also be
10,
Malaysia versus
12.
Indonesia both ways in both semi-final encounters. Either way, it's going to be very interesting, and we invite all of you to watch the continuing coverage of the Axiata Cup. Another mistake there by Rumbaka, and you can see the disappointment written all over his face. It's now Hafiz up by 3.
Service over.
Not the most difficult of drops.
13-10.
Just catching the tape and going right back down. That time not going over for Hafiz. And it's Rumbaka coming back.
Service over.
within 2.
11-13.
It's now 12-13. The unforced errors really telling the story here. Rumbaka with 16, Hafiz with 13. And another poor effort with a counter drop by Rumbaka. That has really
Service
sailed
over.
him here today.
40-12.
Hafiz being very deliberate, taking his time. That will go wide. And Hafiz has controlled the tempo and the pace of this match from the very beginning.
15-12.
He's not rushing things, being very deliberate about his every shot.
Hafiz.
There's a slick portion now on the side of Rumbaka. And so we take a brief lull.
Thank you.
Again, looking back at the head-to-head matchups. Hafiz Hashim with a slight 2-1 edge because of his victories in 2011 in the Chinese Taipei Open and in the Malaysian Open also in early 2011. But in this year's Malaysian Open in January 2012, Rumbaka getting the better of Hafiz in 3 games. That will go long.
Service over. 13-15.
Very crucial stage of the second game. That's well played again by Hafiz. Rumbaka looked so unsure of what he wanted to do.
Service
And that
over.
poor lob
16-13.
was just pounced on here by Hafiz. Well, Indonesia can ill afford to lose this very first singles. Their doubles pair, though talented, well played. The doubles pair of Indonesia, though talented, just may not be up to the caliber of Ku and Tan.
Service over.
One of the top
14-16.
doubles pairs in the sport today. Former world number ones. And there is world number one in the singles, Lee Chong-wei, lending support to his squad. He should be back in action in the crossover semifinals, at the very least. If not, if they decide to save him once again, he will definitely be back in action for the finals, which will be on the 15th. Well played. And now Rumbaka is within 1.
15-16.
But he breaks another string. That is the 4th racket he's had to have restrung in this match alone. Big point here. We could be tied or Malaysia up by 2. Well played, and we're tied at 16. Rumbaka now rising to the challenge.
16 all.
Great strategy that time by Rumbaka to go right down the middle. And there, taking advantage of once again, was that lob by Hafiz that came into contact with the net.
17-16.
Kept it shallow, and Rumbaka was all over it. Watch it here, catching the net. And Rumbaka now putting 3 straight points together, and he's got the lead. And again, impatience for
Service over.
Rumbaka.
17 all.
He's got to construct those points. And those easy points will just help out Hafiz in his charge here. Tied at 17. And that time, Hafiz not up to the challenge.
Service over.
Boy, nerves from both these players starting to show.
18-17.
Another big point here, especially for Rumbaka. He needs this point to put even more pressure on Hafiz. And there it is. What his coach has been espousing all throughout. You've got to extend the points, lengthen the rallies, construct the points properly, and wait for the right opportunity. And now Rumbaka, 2 points clear and 2 points away from the second game. And it's now game point for Indonesia. Looking to force a third and deciding game.
17.
And just when I said it looked like Hafiz Hashim was in total control of this match, dictating the pace, dictating the tempo of every point, he now finds himself down by 3. One game point saved.
Service over. 18-20.
That's wide.
Game.
Second game will now go to Rumbaka in Indonesia. And things
Second
are tied.
game
And
won
that
by
is just going to
Indonesia,
quiet the
Rajawali.
crowd somewhat here.
21-18.
There's actually also a
One
big
game
contingent
all.
here on the opposite side for Indonesia. And they're now going crazy. We're tied at 1 game apiece here in the first singles.
Siap tahu ya. Kalau jauh ya. Turun itu tekanannya enggak. Tekanannya penting. Bukan tahu enak aja. Ya. Kira mainnya ditekan dikit. Enggak ada terlalu kendor. Ya. Itu udah kepegang mainnya. Ya. Tekanan bolanya kan enggak. Ya, tekan bolanya. Paling sudah tidak enak.
game. Level play.
Welcome back to the action here. This is the Axiata Cup 2012 inaugural staging. What is the richest team event in the sport of badminton? As we enter this all-important tie
One
in
love.
Indonesia and Malaysia. They're tied at 1 game apiece, and as expected, every match will be a thriller. Rumbaka quickly taking advantage here.
2 love.
He's now on a different gear altogether. It's now 3 love.
3
A poor start
love.
right now here for the hometown bet.
Love.
And it looks like the floodgates have been opened. It's now 4 love. Nice counter. That's going to help Hafiz out here.
6 over.
Give him some extra confidence.
1-4.
Easy put away.
6 over.
In the last 15 minutes, this has been a different Hafiz Hashim. And it's another point here for Indonesia. And they look like they're going to run away with this 3rd game.
6-1.
When just a few minutes ago, you would have had to say Hafiz Hashim was well on his way to a 2 straight game victory. That's wide and long.
6 over. 2-6.
And now that's going to breathe some life here into the charge of Hafiz. And looking at the faces of the Malaysian fans, there's a true look of concern. And there you can see it once again.
6 over.
Rumbaka just looks like the better player here right now. When you could have said the same thing about 5-10 minutes ago. That's out of the reach of
6
Rumbaka.
over. 3,
Great strategy
7.
that time by Hafiz. And very quickly, Rumbaka looks over to his coach. And the coach eggs him to be patient, wait for the opportunity, and keep that ball low. Back-to-back points right now will help the cause of Malaysia.
7.
Well played. And that is what Malaysia expects from Hafiz Hashim.
5-7.
It's now 5-7. And here comes a rejuvenated Hafiz Hashim. Well played. Cat-like
Service
quickness being
over.
shown by Rumbaka.
8-5.
And he opens up another 3-point advantage. That's called in. The Malaysian fans don't like it, but it's the right call. Well inside that line. That was poorly judged. Could the wheels be coming off here for Hafiz Hashim? That's wide.
Service over. 6-9.
You can see the green screen all across the court instead of the usual A boards. We have the moving billboards. And right now, moving forward once again,
Service over.
is Indonesia off that mistake by Hafiz Hashim. Just a tad late. Unforced errors, both with 21. That's not going over.
11-6 in interval.
As we get to the interval and the players change sides, it is 11-6 Rumbaka and Indonesia Rajawali with a 5-point edge. Watch this final point. That's the best angle to look at it from. Clipping the tape and staying on the side of Malaysia and Hafiz Hashim. Well, what once started out as 6 different countries vying for the top prize of $400,000 US, it's now down to 2 countries. The 2 Indonesian squads and the 2 Malaysian squads. All that's got to be battled for is the placings. Who will play who in next week's home and away semi-finals? Thailand, Singapore, the Philippines, and Vietnam
11-6.
each take home $50,000 US for participating here in the inaugural staging of the Axiata Cup. Poor lift once again. And the lead is now up to 6. Another poor lift. That one was not even close. Missing the entire court.
6.
Much closer to the A board than he was to the court. Another poor lift. Survives that one though. Twice turns out to be the charm. And Hafiz Hashim looks like a beaten man at this particular stage. Well, Hafiz apologizes to Cholit. He's got to ask permission from the umpire before he changes racket. And now Cholit doesn't allow him to practice with a new racket as Lee Chong Wei now trying to look for answers for his teammate. Trying to text a friend. And that racket seems to have helped
Service over.
more than anything.
7-14.
Hafiz Hashim feels he somewhat stopped the momentum of Rumbaka. That's long.
8-14.
And now Hafiz putting 2 straight points on his side of the scoreboard. Let's see if this mini rally continues. That's wide.
Service over. 15-8.
Hafiz right now trying to go for the lines too much. Not the best idea, especially when you're not in the best of forms. Great play. Another point going to Malaysia.
Service over. 9-15.
Hafiz now opting to change the shuttle. Hafiz has got to have super hearing. Just when I said that it looked like he was on cruise control, ready to win this match, he let his guard down. I said he looked like a beaten man. And then suddenly, he picked up his play. But on the other end, Rumbaka tries to continue his charge.
Service over.
He's now up by 7.
16-9.
The last time these two gentlemen played in January 2012, the match also went to 3 games. Rumbaka winning the first, 21-17, losing the second, 13-21, but coming out with a resounding 21-11 scoreline in the third. And it's another point for Indonesia after that great stretch coming from Rumbaka.
9.
How did he get to that shuttle? Barely getting it over. He got to that. He hit it with such precision that it forced the mistake and the error from Hafiz Hashim. 17-9 is our scoreline. Looking so ominously close to the 21-11 scoreline in the third game in January 2012 in the Malaysian Open. Rumbaka wanting to win the first singles and at the same time tie their head-to-head matchups at 2 apiece. Well played. Excellent point by both these players. But in the end, again, it's Rumbaka on top. Look at that acrobatic shot. That fantastic drop. And that was the beginning of the end. Well placed, well inside the line, but still out of the reach of Hafiz Hashim.
19-9.
And Rumbaka now 2 points away from taking the first singles. That's well played once again. It is now game point, match point
20.
for Indonesia.
Match point 9.
Hafiz still with some fight in him. It's 10-20.
20.
Might be it. It is. And Rumbaka with a minor upset here. Upends Hafiz Hashim, taking the spot of Tumi Sugiharto, their number 1 singles player.
Match won
And
by
he upends Hafiz
Indonesia
Hashim
Rajawali 21
in
16,
3 games.
18 21 and 21.
Just when Indonesia thought they might have to be called the underdogs here because their top singles player, Tommy Sugiharto, is down with a fever. Hafiz Hashim goes down because of Rumbaka's brilliance. 2 games to 1.